The party was loud, crowded, and full of that forced laughter people used when they wanted to impress someone. My wife, Emily, was in her element, sparkling dress, flawless hair, and that smirk capable of disarming anyone in the room. But tonight, her smirk wasn't just playful. It was a challenge. She leaned toward her friends, loud enough for me to catch, and said, "If I had a choice, I'd choose someone else." The words struck me like a sudden cold wind, unexpected and sharp. It wasn't the first time she'd made comments like that around others, but the way she said it, half laughing, half serious, made it sting deeper. It was a jab, a test, a probe to see if I would react. I didn't. I held my glass, relaxed my posture, and kept my eyes on her. My smile was calm, casual even, but my mind raced. She wanted me to fume, to sputter, to shrink under her gaze. She craved a reaction. Her friends laughed nervously, glancing at me, uncertain if she was joking or serious. I took a slow sip from my drink, letting the silence stretch, letting the moment settle heavy in the air. Emily noticed. Her eyes flicked to mine, and for the first time all night, she hesitated. Her lips parted slightly, as if to explain or retract, but she didn't. She was caught off guard by the calm, the lack of reaction, the quiet authority I exuded. I leaned in just a fraction, enough to make my presence felt. My voice was low, controlled, cutting softly through the surrounding chatter. "Is that what you really think?" I asked almost conversationally. Her smirk faltered. She opened her mouth, paused, then closed it again. Around us, the party went on, oblivious to the small earthquake between us. I didn't need words. I didn't need to argue. I didn't need to beg. My look alone said it all. "I see you. I know what you're doing, and I won't give you the reaction you expect." Emily froze. She knew it. In that instant, the balance shifted. The rest of the room faded into background noise. Her friends continued chatting, laughing, but I ignored them. I focused solely on her, on the subtle changes in her expression, the tiny falter in her confidence when she realized her joke hadn't landed. Her eyes darted away, then back, searching for a crack. I didn't give her one. My gaze remained steady, unwavering. She tried again, softer this time, as though testing the waters. "I was just joking," she said. I nodded slowly, letting the silence hang between us. "Of course, jokes are harmless, aren't they?" My voice was casual, but there was an edge she couldn't miss. Emily's jaw tightened. She wasn't used to this. She expected me to react immediately, to apologize, to laugh it off, to smooth things over. Tonight, none of that would happen. Her friend Clara leaned in, whispering something that made Emily laugh nervously. I didn't look at Clara. My eyes stayed fixed on Emily. I wanted her to feel the weight of the moment, that I had noticed, understood, and wasn't impressed. Emily's hand trembled slightly as it reached for her glass. She tried to regain composure, but the brief flicker of doubt in her eyes told me she realized she no longer held the silent control she had assumed. I breathed slowly, letting calm confidence fill the space. Then I leaned slightly closer and spoke quietly, firmly. "I'm not impressed by jokes at my expense, Emily. And I'm not the person who will react the way you expect." She swallowed, a small hitch betraying the carefully constructed facade. The smirk that once seemed natural had vanished, replaced by unease. She hadn't expected clarity, hadn't expected quiet authority. The room continued its chatter, unaware of the tremor between us. But Emily felt it. I knew she felt it. Across the room, her sister Rachel caught my eye. She had been watching silently, with a knowing expression. I gave a subtle nod, acknowledgement, not alliance. Emily noticed. Her eyes flicked between me and Rachel, and for the first time that evening, she seemed unsure. The balance had shifted. Emily's lips pressed together, quivering slightly, betraying her attempt at composure. Her little joke had failed to rattle me, to embarrass me, to provoke any of the usual reactions. Instead, I remained calm, confident, and unshaken. Her hand lingered on her glass, trembling. I could see her calculating her next move, considering whether to escalate, deflect, or retreat. But none of her usual tactics would work tonight. She assumed I would beg, fume, or grovel. I did none of those things. I took a deliberate sip of my drink, holding her gaze. "Go ahead, Emily," I said softly. "Say what you want. Your jokes, your games, they don't change who I am or how I see this relationship." She blinked, startled by the calm authority in my tone. The smirk she had relied on for years was gone, replaced by uncertainty. Her friends glanced between us, sensing tension but unsure what had happened. Only Rachel seemed to grasp the moment's weight. She gave me a subtle nod, a silent acknowledgement that I had reclaimed control. Emily noticed too, and she shifted slightly on her heels. Her voice came, finally, quiet and measured. "You're not reacting." I shook my head slowly. "No, Emily. I'm not reacting the way you expected. That's the point. I see you. I understand what you're trying to do, and I refuse to play along." Her eyes swept the room, searching for some invisible advantage. There was none. For the first time, she was exposed, her confidence stripped, left to face the reality that I wouldn't be manipulated or tested anymore. The party went on, unaware of the quiet confrontation. But Emily felt it, Rachel felt it, and most importantly, I felt it. I relaxed, taking a small step back and letting a calm smile touch my lips. "Enjoy the party, Emily," I said, my voice carrying above the noise. "But remember, some things aren't jokes, and some boundaries aren't yours to cross." Her face went pale. She finally understood that tonight, I was no longer the man who would bend around her whims. In that moment, amid the chaos and laughter, I felt a quiet triumph, not of victory, but of clarity and control regained. The balance had shifted, and Emily, for the first time, knew that the power had returned to me.